Hello and welcome to the Mama Means Business podcast. I'm your host, Siobhan Bent, back with another amazing guest, Miss Hazel Williams. Hello, Hazel.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Welcome. Thank you for saying yes. It's so funny. Hazel. Hazel. I have to keep repeating your name, Hazel, because I always want to refer to you as BGI.
Oh, I yes. That's what everybody calls me.
Yes, yes. So let's jump right in. I'm so excited to have you here. Please let the people know, who is Hazel.
So who is Hazel? Hazel is my name, given name at birth. Hazel Ann to be exact. But I am a mom.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm an educator. I'm an entrepreneur. Um, I'm a sister, a cousin, an auntie, a friend, uh, a supporter. Yeah, I wear many hats.
You wear many hats, as so many of us mamas do. Awesome. So, big girl interrupted. What is that? Because that definitely interrupts your scroll when you see big girl interrupted. Like, what? Tell me a little bit about big girl interrupted.
Well, Big Girl Interrupted is a community that I created out of my own interruptions.
Mm-hmm.
So, an interruption of being a teenage mom. I don't class it as an interruption. It was an experience that I had to go through, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I'm blessed and thankful for that experience. But also the experience and the interruption of going through the education system on my own, like for myself.
Okay.
That's where my biggest interruption happened. And the challenges I faced with that. Um,
Yeah.
Going back, especially as an adult, I went back to school to university as an adult at
Okay.
or 35, I think it was
Mm-hmm.
36, somewhere there. And I experienced a lot of interruption. And as a result, I experienced anxiety, a little bit of depression,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of negative self-talk, a lot of negative limiting beliefs I experienced as I was struggling with the transition of I had been in school like maybe 10, 15 years but prior, and it changed. So the
Okay.
expectations, the writing style, and was a huge challenge for me, a huge,
Okay.
huge challenge for me. Yeah. So
Okay.
that's where the Big Girl Interrupted came from. It was birthed from that interruption.
I love that. And I love that you call it interruption, because most of us would call it problems, hurdles, challenges, interruptions. That's it could it's almost like redefined, and really, because you can actually visualize how things would be going, according to plan, and then you find yourself like off course, like you've literally been interrupted. So I
Yes,
love
and it
that.
is. And I love the word interruption because it's only for the moment. It's
Right.
an interruption, right? It's an experience for the moment. It's not there forever, and we need to start training our brains and ourselves and how we position ourselves with the experiences that we encounter in life. It's an interruption for that moment, and it's
For
going to
sure.
pass, right? It's
Hmm.
going to pass.
Okay. So you shared that, you were a teenage mom, you had some hurdles, but how did, because we all experienced that, but this is the
Mhm.
Mama Means Business show, right? How
Yeah.
did that evolve to become a business?
Wow. Um, I wanted to, it was more to show my son
Hmm.
that you can do anything you want. Yes, I
Okay.
am in education. That
Yes.
I did the career path thing, but I also have other things that I want to do. I also
Right.
areas of my life I want and goals that I want to achieve. And one
Right.
of them was owning my business. So, and everything I do, I try to make sure that I'm modeling the behavior that I want my son to see and display. I'm always thinking
Hmm.
about that. So um I wanted to be able to expose him to other things like
Okay.
entrepreneurship. So
Right.
yeah, and that's and I've had other businesses in the past, so he's been
Mm.
exposed to it for a long time. Yeah.
So he knows his mama is a biz mama. All right.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Has he displayed any signs of wanting to follow that entrepreneurship track?
I was hoping you'd ask me this question. One, because, you know, raising a Black boy, you go through your struggles.
Yes.
It's not the, it's so pushing him through, and he's 27 now, but
Okay.
yes, our struggles of parenthood and also struggles of like me being, we're not that much difference in age. Like there's
Come
like,
on.
right,
I can relate.
right.
My mom had me at 15.
Yes. So I
I
had
can
him at
relate.
16.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not much difference. So there's that parent-child struggle that we had to go through for a good
Right.
couple of years. Um, but now that he's found his own, he's in his career, he started his own business this year and wrote a book.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah.
love that. I
Like,
love that. So tell us a little bit more about that.
um, well,
I know
I'm
this is
in the,
about you, but I'm about him.
so listen, I'm excited because it's
Yes.
like it, all your work, all your struggles, all your arguing, all your
Yeah.
cussing, right? To get them
Yes.
to where they are, to get them to the way they where you want them to be, even though it's their vision, you
For
want
sure.
you want to be able to, and you want to be around to celebrate that with them.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
So he's actually started a clothing line. It will be coming
Yay.
out soon. And then he's learned from all the little things that I've done.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, okay, how do I get engage people in it? So he wrote a book, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
all, and it's for his, generation. They don't
Right.
read books, but they read more quotes, affirmations,
Yeah.
inspiration. So it's all that. It's 100 of aspiration, motivational quotes that he wants to give to other young people to
That's
motivate them to
amazing.
see, yeah, just from his experiences. So, um, and it's actually what I've taken away from that book is what I was saying to him didn't go in vain. All the
Mm.
preaching I did didn't go in vain because it's in the book.
Mm-hmm.
The
That's it.
word you almost like you hear your voice in there.
Yes. Oh, that's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing.
So,
Congratulations, mama. That's amazing. Like, isn't that what that's what we do it for, right?
yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
we do it for. We make I personally don't like the word sacrifice, but I understand the context.
Yes.
All the investments, because mortgage broker here, all the
I know.
investments that we make are for our children,
Yeah.
right? And of course, we do have a vision for a child, and of course, they have to find their own way. But when they do, like, oh, I'm so excited for you. That is beautiful. Please make
Yeah.
sure you share that with me so I can share that on all my platforms
Yes,
because
I
we
will.
all about the business. We have to promote and support. So yes, I love that. And I can show my son. I'm trying to get my son, but yeah, he gave me a hard time. He gave me a hard time. He just wants the money. He doesn't want to do the work.
Right.
But we're gonna continue
It's
to
okay. It will
pray.
come around. The more that he sees you, he'll come
Yeah,
around. He'll come around.
for sure, for sure. All right, so you do uh vision boarding and life coaching you shared, right?
Yeah.
So tell me about the women in your community. How do you serve them in that capacity?
So I serve them by one, um, hosting vision board boot camps,
Mm-hmm.
um, encouraging them to really go create their own roadmap for their success,
Mm-hmm.
to being like bold in whatever you want to do,
Yes.
um, and just being real and authentic in it.
Mm-hmm.
When you're showing up and doing it, be authentic and real in what you're doing, and make sure it's for you and it's
Right.
coming from you, right? And being true to you. If it doesn't fill your cup, don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to say that, um, I don't. It's okay to say no. I tell
Right.
them, doesn't feel good, don't do it. Don't do it at all.
So how do you walk them through getting that clarity? Because I know with vision boards, okay, first of all, let me ask you to explain what is vision board for those who are listening and may not know what a vision board is.
Yes. So a vision board is a visual representation of your goals. And how I do it differently, because created my own signature program, is
Okay.
I take you through the process of what we call what's interrupting your life. So we look at what are the things that are interrupting you right now.
Mm,
And then we take you through that and we unpack that and we look at what are some of the limiting beliefs, what are some of the fixed mindset things that we've grew up hearing and that are showing up and reinforcing those interruptions. And then
Mm-hmm.
we unpack all of that and we create a new road. We clear the road of all that traffic.
Mm-hmm.
And then we put your new shiny car on the road with your goals. And we set clear, tangible goals that you can actually achieve and create an action step. And then I also help women create a reset plan. And that's the big
Mm,
key thing, is because sometimes as we go through and we're working on our goals, unexpected things happen.
absolutely.
And then the motivation is lost.
Mm-hmm.
You don't feel like you have the energy to continue to working towards your goal. So you get stuck.
Right.
So if you have a proactive reset plan and it has things that will like regenerate you, make you remotivate you, get you refocused, engage in those activities first, and then come back to your roadmap and start
Mm-hmm.
working towards your goals again.
No, that is amazing. I'm actually glad I like asked that question because I understand what a vision board is. But this is not just for me, Siobhan. This is not just for you. Okay, anyhow.
So
The
it's good because a
pre-work,
lot of people,
they
yeah, because
don't know.
no, they don't know, or they think it's like I'm going to do a vision board party, and I'm like, I do vision board parties, but I also be prepared to do the work at the vision board party,
Right.
right?
Because the vision is not just about putting pictures on a board and, you know,
Yes,
wishing that it comes true. Because I've done
yes,
that. I've done
yes,
that. Like when
yes,
I
yes,
just when
yeah,
I first started doing vision boards, um, I really didn't do the pre-work.
right,
It was like, I want this, I want this, I want this, and put it on a board. But 20 years later, it's still not here, right? And that's because there was no pre-work done. There was no intention. There was no unlearning to relearn. Again,
yeah,
all of that pre-work wasn't done. So I love that. And so how
yeah.
often or when do you do your boot camps?
So they're quarterly. So the next one will
Okay,
be coming up in September, uh,
nice.
and then one and on always on National Vision Board Day, which is in January.
And so okay, that is also amazing. I'm so glad I connected with you, girl, because quarterly, right? Most times, statistics have shown people set their big, audacious goals on January 1st. And then by February 1st, like life be life in, and you
Yeah,
completely forgotten about all those goals that you've set. And so over the last several years, I would say, through business mentorship and coaching, like I've learned that especially as a business owner, you can't be setting 12-month long goals. Yeah, you have to have a big goal, but you got to chop that crap up,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
You got
yeah,
to chop. So every quarter, every 90 days, like you have to do like a self reflection, evaluation, fix what's working, what's not working, retweak. So, yeah, really recasting your vision. I love that.
yeah,
September.
yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. And
I
you know
love that.
what? The
Mm,
the motivation when you set your goals up like that quarterly, and you look at your vision that way, you're actually more motivated. You get more motivated,
right. It's easier
especially
to,
when
to sustain too, right?
yes, yes, and you achieve more.
Yeah.
Your success rate is so much higher when you break your goals down that way.
Mm, I love that. I love that. So, what has there ever been a time in your business where you've lost motivation, you've lost, the to keep going? And if there was, what did you do to get back on track?
Oh my gosh, yes. So, um, during the pandemic,
Mm,
because I started the business in 2018.
okay.
So, and just before the pandemic, we were partnered with a bar um, downtown, and we would host them monthly
Okay.
just to get our name out there. And it was the first one that we sold out like really fast.
Mm,
And then the restaurant owner called us and said, we have to shut down the restaurant. Yeah, it was hurtful, hurtful, and it just like squeezed every juice you had out of you because
mm-hmm.
you finally did it. You because you're testing, you keep testing.
Right.
Is this really right? Are you doing the right thing? You're praying, you're asking God, am I doing the right thing? And he answers your prayers, and then the world decides that it's gonna, show up in other ways. So um it took a long time. It took a lot of self-talk, a
Yeah.
lot of self-talk, a lot of prayer,
Mm-hmm.
uh, a lot of talking to other people, a lot of engaging on different platforms to see what people are doing. Um, and then I just prayed. To be very truthful, I just prayed. I just asked
Mm-hmm.
God and I left it in his hands. And I said, if you know this is the right thing I'm doing, you'll lead me in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
And he just gave me this idea to use the time to revamp the business,
Okay.
um, and re-energize it. And he gave me the time to actually create my own signature program.
Mm.
And for me to actually go through the program. I've done the program twice. So I'm not
Okay.
asking anybody to do anything that I haven't done.
Right.
Um, and it's the process that I use in my business,
Okay.
to achieve my goals. So, uh, yeah, I just pray, pray, pray. Listen, nothing beats prayer. That's what my mom always tells
Nothing.
me.
Nothing. Okay, we're not gonna have church today because it's a Friday, but we're not gonna have church today. But listen, that prayer thing, and I don't mean thing, but like it really does, because you get, once you give it up to him and you surrender, he literally, it's almost like, I don't know, it's like the fog just dissipates and you can see clearly, you can hear clearly, you're more in tune with what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. So yeah, for those listening, if you're not a prayer, I encourage you to start and know
Yeah,
that prayer
meditate,
is literally
meditate.
just a conversation. It's not
Yeah,
about, I know in my early days of Christianity, I was always intimidated by how I would see the seasoned, Christians praying, and then I would be reluctant even. But I've learned that it's literally a conversation like how you and I are talking right now, Hazel, right?
yes,
Just
exactly.
literally,
That's what I've learned too. I've
yeah,
learned
lay it
it's a
out to
conversation.
him. He
Yeah.
hears you. There's no specific language. There's no, checklist. Just lay it out
No.
and he will guide you. All right, so
Yes.
enough of church. Let's on to the next. So again, with business, there's a lot of moving pieces. What systems have you leveraged or implemented into your business that have helped you do all that you do? Educator, coaching, like events, like how do you do it? Let me just say that.
So, I use I'm always investigating different tools, but my
Mm-hmm.
go-to tools are Canva, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I like using Trello to keep me organized.
Mm-hmm.
Um, ChatGPT is my new best friend.
Come on now.
Yeah. I used to use Jasper until
Okay.
ChatGPT came around because Jasper was taking my money. So
Ah,
yeah, yeah. But they're they're both platforms I like,
yeah.
and they do different things. But I do like ChatGPT. And then I like books. I love books and I love podcasts. I learn a lot from podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they are my daily dose of every day. I have a different podcast. Like I listen to yours on Thursdays, your
Ah,
podcast and another. Yeah, every Thursday I go and I catch up on, and if I miss, I binge it because I drive. So I
right.
have a great podcast that I listen to every day,
So
and that's
why am
how
I
I.
blushing right now? Why am I blushing? Why am
Yeah,
I
Thursday
blushing?
morning. Hazel's
Oh
listening.
my gosh, I love that. I made the like routine list. I love it. Love it. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Anyway, you
yeah.
always give me feedback and you always so I do really appreciate the feedback. I love your support. And we haven't even met in person. So that
I know. I
really
can't
means
wait.
a lot to me, right? Because I know
Yeah, I
you are also a podcaster.
can.
So it does, I really appreciate your support. So thank you. So make sure
No,
you guys connect with, we're gonna talk about your podcast shortly, but yeah, thank you, Hazel. Like, yeah, I'm literally like
no.
blushing right now. What? Anyway,
Yeah, no, no, no.
so
Um,
Constantly fueling the brain, I think, is essential, right? You should never stop learning, as a woman, as a mom, as a business owner, because there's so much information out there, and we have to continue to evolve.
yes,
We have to
yeah.
continue to evolve, and who best
And
to do that
the
than from
world's
other.
moving fast. So
Mm-hmm.
you gotta figure out how you're gonna keep up with it.
Yes.
And for me, it's all about habits. Because when
Yeah.
I have a habit, I will it's routine for me, and I'm very routine. So I need to have my routine and my habits in place, and I'll be fine.
Okay, so that's that two questions. So we're gonna come back to ChatGPT, so I'll say that out loud because I will forget. But my next
Okay.
question was actually, what is your daily routine like? Like, as an
Ooh,
entrepreneur, like, what is your, like, walk us down down the list of things you do, let's say, in your
okay.
morning
I
routine.
got my board because it's right here.
Mm-hmm.
So in the mornings I walk, I go for my morning walk,
Mm-hmm.
and I listen to and actually stop. I meditate and pray in my bed first.
Okay.
Um, so I do those two things, and then I go for my morning walk. And then I come back and I have my hot water and lemon. I do my journaling. And that's the crucial my time. So don't interrupt
Mm-hmm.
my time during that whole morning ritual for me. Um, and then I'll look at my day and schedule, see what is on the schedule. I usually schedule out my day on Sundays, my whole week on Sundays. I schedule it
Okay.
out. Um, and so I look at what my tasks are for, and each day has a purpose. So I
Right.
divide my business up into pillars, and each day, so Monday's my podcast day, Tuesday and Wednesday are my vision board days, Thursdays are my blog days, Fridays is my Amazon store journal kind of days. And then the Saturday and Sunday is like my catch up day. Anything that I left off from the week, I
Mm.
do it on Saturday and Sunday.
See, it sounds
Um,
so easy. It sounds so easy.
no,
Just
listen,
pick a day, Siobhan. Pick a day and do this on this day. Pick a day. But every I'm gonna get it together. I'm gonna get it together. I promise you.
do you know how many people ask me because they ask me, how do you do everything? And it wasn't until I was a mess before.
Yes.
I was a mess, but I don't like feeling messy
Mm-hmm.
because it shows up in my skin. It
Yes,
shows
you're
up in
right.
how I eat, my gut health. Like it affects my whole body.
Mm-hmm.
So I need routine. I need clarity. I need to know, okay, this is on this day. And I do mix things up,
For
but
sure.
I'm okay with it. So if I
Yes.
finished all my tasks on Monday, of course I'm going to hop over to Thursday because I know I could finish work early in my business, right? I could do
Mm-hmm.
something that I could take off that list. So that's what I do. And then I go to work. And then when I
Mm-hmm.
go to work, that's when I listen to my podcast. I always listen to podcasts or I listen to audiobooks. But I've been listening to podcasts in the mornings and then audiobooks in the afternoon when I on my way home.
Like, I
And
want to
then
be
work
like
in
you when I
business
grow up,
week.
Hazel.
You want
I
to
want
be?
to. I
No,
do. I'll be
it's
good.
not.
I'll do good for a little bit, and then I'll be like 2 weeks later, but what happened to, like, wasn't I supposed to?
I get there. Don't worry. I get there too. It happens to me. But at least I can go back to it. Like I can
Yes. Yeah.
see, and that's the thing. Like writing down what you have to do. Writing is so
Mhm.
important.
So
Writing
important.
your tasks so important. So it's okay to put off, but if you have it written down, at least you have the visual of okay, I did A, B, C, and D, and then
Mhm.
I can go back to F, right?
Right,
And work
right.
on that because I skipped it. Yeah. So yeah,
I just have to
that's me.
remember to write it down. That's what I think. If I remember to write it down, I'll be good. But yeah, I'm gonna get it together though. I am. You've heard it here first, people.
Baby
I'm like, yes.
together, like all your organization for the podcast. I was like, oh, ooh.
So it's coming together. It's coming together. But there's some days would be like
It's
what?
okay.
That's why this summer my son is not doing camps because I need to recapture my days. I feel like the drop off, pickup, the time is not enough. And so
Yeah.
he's not going to camp. So then I'm gonna have to struggle with the whole screen thing. But I feel like this is my time to regroup
Uh-huh.
and restructure. And yeah, you're gonna get a job and all of that. Like it's just this summer is I'm looking so forward to this summer. Okay. All
Good,
right.
good.
All right. So for the mamas listening, because you do a lot. You do a lot.
Yeah.
You do a lot. And I love how you execute. You show up very meticulously and strategically. I can see it. I can see it.
Thank you.
For the mamas who, and I know there's gonna be things life happens because that's
Yeah.
just what life be doing, right?
Yep, yep.
But I love your consistency. I love your intentionality. I see all of that in your content. You to speak to the mamas who are listening. Actually, scratch that. I want you to speak to me. Speak to me. I want you to speak to me, right? And just I want you to give some form of encouragement to the mom. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, perfectly fine.
Okay. To the mamas who are listening, because I'm a strong believer in business,
Uh-huh.
entrepreneurship, understanding that we have to take control of our financial futures. And I feel the best way, especially in this time,
Yeah,
to do that is through business, right? There's no
yeah,
limits when you have a business, right? The only limit is essentially within yourself. So there, I
100%.
know there's several moms that you do work full time and you do your business. I want you to
Yeah,
speak to the moms who are listening, who know that they need more, who know that, you know, they have an idea that they want to execute, but are being held back by maybe, I don't know, things. Fear, is a big one,
yeah.
but just life. Like, can you speak a word of encouragement to the mama who's listening, who knows she needs to do more, but may find it difficult to actually take that step?
Okay, so girls, ladies, women, moms, I'm gonna tell you to stop and really just stop everything that you're doing
Mhm.
and just listen. Sit, grab your tea, grab whatever you need to, and just grab your notebook and listen. I want to encourage you to remove the negative self talk because that's where it starts and that's where the
Right.
fear comes from, right? We feel the fear and we start releasing all the negative self talk about ourselves. We
Right.
can't do it. Or we're watching what our friends are doing. I want to be able to do that, but I can't do it. We're saying things like that to ourselves. You need to remove that language
Mm-hmm.
and switch it as you're writing down. List out all the negative self talk things that you would say to yourself, and on one column, and then on the other side,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to change those negative self talk comments and statements that you say to yourself to something positive. So that's where I
Right.
want you to start from there because we need to start really internal, going deep and figuring out what are the things I'm saying to myself, even if you're not saying it in words, but
Right.
you're saying it,
It's
thinking
showing up
it,
in your
and saying,
actions. Yeah.
yep,
Mm-hmm.
yes, it's showing up. It's showing up. So let's get real with them, get uncomfortable with them, and acknowledge them. And then we're gonna get rid of them.
Right.
Don't like they we acknowledge them, they're there, let it go. Then whatever business idea you have, go out and look for people who are doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Research them, spend time engaging in them, comment on their stuff, like
Yes.
really dive in and like become their bestie is what you
Come
want to
on.
do.
Yeah.
Become their bestie. And then once you start to see things and then take notes. Okay, this is how she does it or he does it, but I want to do it this way. Here's my idea. Write it down. I'm going to tell
Yeah.
you, always write it down. If you have like a bunch of sticky notes, write it down. Right?
That's it.
It doesn't need to make sense to anybody else besides you. Write
Come on.
it down because we
Mm-hmm.
forget. And we have 10 million thoughts a day or a
Yeah.
second, they say, or something. Um, so you're not going to remember. So write it down, write it in your notes, send yourself an audio thing if you that's what you need to do. Find whatever strategy works for you, but write it down and really look at. And those people, you just because you don't know them face to face, they're your mentors.
Right.
They're your mentors. So really look at what people are who you would like to emulate and be like, um, and look at them, really study
Mm-hmm.
them, and then sit down, create a retreat day for yourself. That's what I did. I created a
Mm.
retreat day for myself, and
Mm-hmm.
I took all the things that I was searching. I like all the people I researched, I engaged with, I talked to, I looked at their website deeply, I watched how they wrote, I all these different things. Their behaviors, if they had podcasts, I binge listened to their podcasts. If they had a YouTube channel, I binge watched their YouTube channel. And
Mm-hmm.
then I sat down and I said, okay, here's what I want my business to look like. This is, and
Yes.
these are the things that they're doing. Here are the pain points of the people that they're attracting. Here's the pain points I want to attract. Here's how
Right.
I want to position myself and be different. And that's what you need to think about is how do you want to position yourself in this world? How do you want to position yourself with your kids? If somebody's talking about you, like the way you described me is exactly the way I want people to describe me as being consistent. But I
Yes.
motivate them and I get the key words you want people to say about you and your brand.
Mm-hmm.
Like make sure you are um, comfortable with those words and look in the
Sure.
mirror and say those words to yourself. Like I want to be able to um, encourage people to do whatever it is you want them to do in your business, whatever it is the business you are deciding to do. And that's my advice. But take your time and be
Yeah.
gentle with yourself. Really take your time and be gentle and stop watching what people are doing.
Come on now.
You're just watching them for research purposes, not to be in
Mm-hmm.
competition with them.
That's it.
Research
Yeah.
purposes, not for competition.
Or even intimidated by them.
Yes, yes. Because you don't know
Yeah.
how they got there.
That's
Like
it.
people see me, they don't know that I'm struggling every day to put out this content. I'm in my phone I'm like, okay, what do I post today? Or, I spend weeks on weeks scheduling out my content. Like you don't
Yes.
know, right?
Right.
Have to find clothes. Like, yeah,
It's work. It's work.
it is
But
work. It's
the
work.
reward, the
Oh,
reward
yes.
outweighs. Yeah. I love that.
And the work is going to be, you need to be prepared and understand the work is going to be years. Years. You'll have experience these highs and lows, but it'll
Mm-hmm.
be years until you feel you've received the fruit of your labor,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you have to remember that and have things and be around people that are inspirational, that are inspiring, and meet other people, expand your
Yes.
network so that you can be motivated and get people to help you.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's my
love that.
advice.
Thank you for that. You
You're
noticed
welcome.
I was like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. That message was for me, guys. Okay. But you can take a little piece of that too. All right. All right. So tell us a little bit about your podcast, the BGI podcast.
Um, I was actually just recording before you came. I joined on your podcast.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, I was recording. Um, I'm excited. I'm really, really excited, and it's a different excitement. So I had a podcast in the past,
Mm-hmm.
but this time it's my podcast. It's
Mm.
all so I'm really excited about it. Giving birth to it on my birthday, which is Monday.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Well, don't worry. We connected anyway. So okay,
Yes.
but okay, all right.
Yeah. So and even the podcast, like I watched you. I'm like, I watched all of this, and like you helped. I messaged you about, how do we move the background sound and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. And I've been listening to your podcast, and the first podcast is and I messaged you about it. The first podcast you captured me with, um, we have to remove the word single mom. I hate that word.
I, I rebuke it in the name of Jesus.
Yes, yes.
Yep.
Um, and I've been working on a very personal blog about it because it bothers me. Why do you need to
Mm-hmm.
know? But yeah, so I don't want to go there because I could go down a very not nice rabbit hole. But the podcast is uh, on my baby. I'm excited. I'm excited about the guest. You're gonna come on soon. Um,
I made
and
the cut, guys. I made the cut. Yes. I'm just joking.
just trying to like how you look, you're watching people and you want to place people in strategic places, right,
For
when they
sure.
come up. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm a planner, so I need to make sure, okay, when I reach out to these people. So yeah, the guests and the stories and the inspiration. So the podcast is the framework of the podcast is one, talking about your interruptions. And then what are the
Mhm.
strategies and tools that you're using to become uninterrupted or that you use? So a lot of the women on the podcast have created businesses out of their interruptions. So some people have written
Mhm.
books, have become authors. Um, and as a result, they have all these different tools that you can access. And I want women to see through the podcast that, yes, I've experienced a bad relationship or
Right.
I'm not married, but it's okay. And look at how I'm living my life. I'm happy. I'm
Right.
doing this. So I want other women to see you don't have to stay in that space anymore. And I want it
Mhm.
to be a place for a woman to, one, engage, and two, see that you could tap in and you're welcome in the community. The community is for you. We have space
Wow.
for you. Yeah. So that's what
Love
it's
that.
all about.
That's exciting. So it's gonna launch on July 3rd. So by the time
Yeah.
you guys listen to this, be sure it'll be out already, but be sure to subscribe. Audio and video, or just video, or just audio. Sorry.
Both. Both.
Ooh, all right, we big
Yeah.
time. All right, mama. I love it.
Yeah.
I
Killing two,
love it.
killing one, whatever they say. Two birds
Two
with one
birds with
stone. I
one
don't know.
stone.
Yes.
Awesome. That's amazing. I'm excited for you. This whole podcasting um journey it has been fun. In the beginning I was like really overthinking it and creating a lot of anxieties for myself that I didn't necessarily like. But I had committed to it because I know that there's more for me to do. There's more for me, more people for me to connect and build with.
Yeah.
So thank you for being a part of the foundation of
Thank
the Mama
you.
Means Business podcast. Is only up from here.
Yep.
Only up
That's it.
from here. Right.
And you're
So
doing
tell the
an
people.
amazing job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate
Wait,
that
and I have to
because
tell you something. So
yes.
listen, your makeup is on point and your hair, I study, like, I'm like, how does she like, it's like perfect.
Thank
Even your
you.
nails. Yeah.
Thank you. The hair, I used to be a hairdresser. I literally have to thank God for my hand because I was literally looking at my wig in the I'm like, if the people ever saw this when I woke up this morning, okay? If they listen, I like I can use my hand, what Jamaicans say, use your hand and make fashion. Okay. I can kind of revive the dead when it comes to my hair. Makeup, red lip, eyelashes, and then I'm good to go. I'm good to go. So,
Wow.
thank you.
Yeah.
I
I'm like,
appreciate
you're always on point. Some days I'm like using all kinds of filters.
it. Don't worry, I use those too. I use those too, girl. I use those too. Thank you, Instagram.
Yeah.
So tell the people where they can find Miss Hazel Williams.
Where can you find me? One, on my website. Two, the big place that I like to hang
What's your
out is,
website though? You gotta say where your website is.
oh, Big Girl Interrupted. So
All right.
www.biggirlinterrupted.com is on my website. And then the place that I love to hang out is TikTok and Instagram.
You're on TikTok?
Play
I
there a
gotta follow
lot.
you on TikTok.
Yeah, I'm following you on TikTok.
Okay. I don't spend much time there, but yeah, we're
Oh,
working on
yeah,
it.
you should be taking your audio and putting it, yeah, and putting it on TikTok. But yeah,
Right.
yeah, those are the two places. And those are the two places that you'll actually get me responding. You'll
Okay.
get access to me better through those platforms.
Awesome. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So, AKA girl has a team. Okay. You heard that? Only
Yes,
up
yes.
from here. Only up from here. I love it. I love it for you. I
Yes,
love it.
and I didn't start there. I'm still slow.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a slow process, and it's a process that I'm also going to talk about it on my podcast. But it's letting go of certain things because I did
Mm,
everything in my business, and letting go is like hard,
it is.
really hard, and being in control is really hard. But I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm
Mm-hmm.
reading books, and I'm engaging in different people's content who have gone through the transition of
Right.
letting go. But yeah, because I need to be other places.
Love that. I love that. Free up time, right?
Yeah,
Delegation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Delegation is one of the keys to elevation. All right, let's
Yes.
go.
Yes.
So, I just thought of this as you mentioned books.
Yeah.
What is you can you recommend one book that could help? I see your face lighting up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
We should all be millionaires by Rachel Rogers.
Oh, hold on. Oh, I don't have it. Oh, yes, I do. Hello.
Yeah, that's the
Hello.
Bible. That's
Come
good.
on. If you're
That's
watching on video, you'll see it. But audio, say it again. Say it again for the people in the back.
We Should All Be Millionaires by Rachel Rogers.
Listen.
Best book ever.
Best book ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I read it. I even did a book club on Instagram a couple years ago with one of my social friends, Michelle Lee, and yeah, I'm actually rereading it because
Do you know how many times I read it?
yeah, rereading it.
Yeah, 4 times. It's like my go-to. Um, and it's on my vision board to join the membership, the Schmillies. So
Mm,
that's my goal for 2024 is to be in the Schmillies. Um,
come on
and
now. Let's touch and
that,
agree. We go in there. We go in
yeah,
there. Okay, we go in there. All right.
yes, I'm getting into the Schmillies. Because I met and it reconfirmed yesterday. I was in a part of a virtual networking group yesterday, and some of the women are in the Schmillies, and I'm like, oh, and they were just talking about it. I'm like,
Wow.
see, the Lord told me to sign up for this networking thing so
Come
that these
on.
women could tell me. And it's true. Like they said, it's changed their business, it's changed their lives.
Wow.
Yeah. To make the investment, it's yeah, and
It's
just
worth it.
and they use the word millionaire like it's, hi.
Exactly. But that's
Like
what
that
it is.
you get really comfortable with it.
But that's exactly what it is because
Yeah.
why we don't accomplish, I believe, the things that we aspire or
Yeah.
vision for ourselves is because it's outside of our comfort zone. We have to
Yes.
get comfortable being uncomfortable in
Yeah.
order to be, do, and have more.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. And what I would like to encourage people to do is, yes, read the book, get the book 100%, but listen to the audio. Because
Oh
when
yeah,
you
I've done
hear
both. Yeah.
Rachel, when she talks,
She's so animated, so real.
yes,
Like she's like, it's like she's talking to her girl. Come on, girl, like what you
oh,
doing?
yep,
Like,
yep,
yeah,
yes,
man. Oh gosh. It's yeah. See, God, like he's a setup God, because in the last couple of days, I been working on a few things and of course always getting into my head, always getting into
yep,
my head,
yep,
right? But I was listening to a podcast and they had shared this example about money mindset and like the difference between the 96% and like the top 4 or 5%, like, and it's
right,
literally between our brain, right?
yes,
And the conversations that we are having with ourselves. And so I posted a reel on my Instagram a couple of days ago to find out, the thought process of my community, right? So it
right,
was, I'm
yeah,
gonna give you $10,000 cash. What are you gonna do with it? And your action with that $10,000 speaks to your money mindset, how you believe you should receive money, how you believe you should earn money, how much money you believe you are worthy of. All of these
yeah,
things play into where we are currently in life, in business, in our jobs, right? So this book, she really walks us through like where it's coming from,
yeah,
how to identify where it is right now, what to do right now to remove those things, and then what to
yeah,
put into place to move forward. Because we all should be millionaires because
yeah,
millionaire status is almost like the next, like it's the regular thing. Like a million dollars is not a lot of money anymore.
no, it's not, no,
It's not a lot of money. Like if we
no,
think about like just basic living, like comfortable living, right? To not
yes,
be, you know, borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, like that's how we should be living. And in order to do that, you need to believe that you're worthy of it.
yes,
So
Yeah.
Yeah, timely. Yeah, so I'm glad I'm rereading it. Thank you for that validation. If you those who are listening, please, if you have not read We Should All Be Millionaires by Rachel Rodgers,
You
it's
need to read
available
it.
on all audio platforms. It's available on Amazon. You can get it in one day. Prime days are coming up. Use that as an
Yep.
investment versus anything else. Y'all should be reading that book. So
And you can also get it at your local library. I listen to my books audio library.
yes, I stand corrected because that is something that I actually had committed
Uh-huh.
to stop buying books because I'm an avid book buyer and I buy more
Right.
than I read. But yes, I also like to have my own copy because
Yeah. I do. There's certain books. So what I do now is if I can't find the book, I listen to it first on audio, and if it's good, then I'll make the investment and buy the book. That
mm, good
book. But I
strategy.
listen to yeah.
Good.
Because
Oh,
sometimes
I'm so glad I'm connected with you, girl. Listen, oh my gosh, you stuck with me now. Just
yay!
saying. Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. So Hazel, this has been an amazing time. I got so much value from it. I know the listeners have gotten so much value from it. I'm looking forward to all the great and amazing things you've got coming up. Any final words that you would like to leave with the audience?
Um, stop, stop not believing in yourself. Believe in yourself
Mm-hmm.
and just do it. And do it with a plan.
Yes,
People say to just do it, but do it with a plan. Believe in yourself and do it with a plan.
love that. And on that note, we'll sign off. Thank you so much for listening to the Mama Means Business podcast. We'll be back with another amazing episode. So stay tuned. Have a great evening. Bye for now.